gardener here in the UK, we are less than overjoyed when we hear that we have got rain forecast, unless we have had a particularly warm, dry, hot spell and we're just begging for just enough rain, just enough, just to get everything going again and green everything up. So one of the best ways to turn that round, turn that frown upside down, is to think of it as a precious resource that is actually going to help with our garden. And as that precious resource, we want to find as many ways as we possibly can to harvest it. Now, when I say harvest your rainwater, you are probably already doing it. If you have got a garden of any size, you may well have a few barrels set up. You may well have some downspouts coming from your guttering from your house. If you've got a greenhouse or a shed, you'll probably have some sort of guttering along there, which will help to collect the rainwater for you. One of the difficulties with having a polytunnel is there is nothing to actually screw that guttering into, and until a couple of years ago we did not collect anything off this here polytunnel. And when you think of the surface area, this is 15 by 10, Mike's is 25 by 10, so as a surface area that is actually able to collect a lot of rainwater. But there's a way around it, and today what I'm hoping to do is show you just how quick and easy it is to harvest all that rainwater, get it set up in a barrel and make the most of one of our most precious resources in the garden. And if you think you might like this channel, consider pressing the subscribe button, pressing the notification bell, and give it a little thumbs up, because it all helps. This is now, I would say, completely clear. This end is completely clear. I did try nail polish remover first and it worked, but I went in the end for some sticky stuff remover. I'll put a link in. It's all had a really good clean. It's nice and dry. The guttering itself is dry. If you haven't already got your stakes in, now obviously these have been in for a little while, so I'm not going to take them out and put them in again for the sake of the video. But what you need to do, you need to make sure that you have your guttering bracket, oops, let's get this out, attached to the stake first, because once you get your stake in, it's going to be really awkward to get your screwdriver around there. Have your guttering bracket attached first and put your stake in, so you're leaving about an inch between the polytunnel or the polythene and the guttering itself. Obviously you don't want to have it too far away, because, well, that's just a waste of space, isn't it? And you don't want to have it too close so that the brackets are rubbing on the polythene. So about an inch if you can. I mean, nobody's going to come along with a tape measure, but that's about it. And then, of course, the most important thing you need to do is make sure that your guttering is at the right angle. It's no good having it absolutely beautifully even, because you've got to decide which end you want the water to come out of. So in this case, we are changing this around. We used to have the water coming out at that end and all our water butts were at the top end of the polytunnel. This time I want to have a little selection of water butts at this end. So what I'm going to do is knock this down. Hopefully it'll be really, really easy. Nothing will get damaged and I won't get injured. And we'll test and see if the water actually comes out that end when I pour some water in. Okay, so we are going to see if this goes down. It has moved an inch. Okay, so we've pulled in the big guns, which is Mike and the mallet, which seems to be working. Hey, I'm just going to see if it works from here. I don't want to pour too much water in because for ages getting this. Oh, look at that. That's good. Right, okay, the butt is in place, and I think, you know what, it doesn't look very pretty, but that's because they're not generally. And I could have put a nice little grey one there or a little black one, but to be honest, this is one of the biggest ones we've got, and it's going to have the most use because it's going to help to water all of these plots here. So it won't just be this one, I'll have some others connected to it eventually. But yeah, I might paint it. I probably won't. The other thing I've done, I've got the downspout on, which is just literally clipped on with one of the guttering clips. Okay, this is it. This is the magic tape. This is actually that Gorilla Tape stuff. I'll put a link below. And it's double-sided, so it's got the horrible blue side, which is the top, the sticky side on. And the idea is to run it in one complete strip from the top end to the bottom end. And then you peel the blue side off and stick your polythene on. So I'll get on with that. Okay, the idea is really to unfill this nice and neatly, but I've just dropped it onto the floor, so I'm going to make sure this goes, I don't know, about a centimetre, half an inch above that, and just flatten it down. You can see already, can't you, what this does? It's just going to create the necessary bridge between the poly, and this is where you should fill it with that, and the actual guttering. Okay, then what we need to do, before I even get on to attaching it to this end, just to seal this bit here, so you've got your top of your polythene. I don't know if you can see that from there, like that. It's stuck on really nicely, but just so you don't want water going down the back, I'm just going to use this, excuse me, this tape. It is UV resistant tape. Again, there's all sorts you can get, but I'll put a link to this one down below. And I'm just going to do exactly the same. I'm just layering this, making sure it's got a nice firm seal at the top. The main thing is to make sure that top is sealed. Okay, and you can see why it took so long to get the sticky stuff off last time. Okay, that should now mean that when the rain comes down, it is going to go over the top of the tape, over the top of the polythene, and straight into the drain. Next thing, same again, I'm just going to make sure this is nice and dry. I'm going to make sure it's easier to do the drain bit, to be honest, because you can keep it straighter, but all I want to do, again, this is just to make sure, oh look, if you feel yourself going slightly off centre, just try and straighten it out. Yeah. I'm going to pull this across. I don't want it pulled too tightly but not too loosely, if that makes sense. And I'm just going to smooth that over. You've got to be careful because you've got to do it a bit at a time. Okay, all I'm going to do now is, well, I'm left-handed and I'm coming towards you, aren't I? So you can't see till I get there. But I'm just trimming the polythene to about there. That around the neck. No, that's not going to go around the neck, that's going to go on the floor. And then I've got this bit here, I want to do something with that in a minute, but yeah, we're going to carry on trimming this all the way along. Okay, so, oh, there we are, off on itself. Okay. Again, one of the main things about this is to make sure that the drain pipe itself is nice and dry. Okay, I've got my watering can full of water and I'm going to pour it on the roof and we'll just see how much comes out of here. Oh! Easy was that? I mean, honestly, it's so straightforward. The main thing I would suggest that you do though is make sure that your top layer of tape is really well smoothed onto the polytunnel, because you don't want any water getting in behind, otherwise it's just going to go straight down. But yeah, once it goes into your guttering, I've got my downspout at this end. If you wanted to, you could put an end cap at the other end just to make sure it doesn't flow upwards instead of downwards. I mean, you shouldn't need it because your guttering is going to be at an angle anyway, but that's it. I've put links to, if not the exact materials, very similar products to what I've used today in the details below. So if you are thinking of setting up something like this yourself, go and have a little look. And otherwise, the next thing that I'm going to be doing is creating a little system where I've got 2 or 3 other water barrels connected via a hose, so that once one is full it can overflow into the second one, which can then overflow into the third one, etc, etc. And then all we have to do is sit back and wait for a little bit more rain. I hope you're all doing okay. I hope this has been of use to some of you, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.